Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Hello, legions, one and all. Welcome once again to another exciting episode of the What You've Been Watching podcast. I am, as always, your host, the marvelous Mike D, joined by my brother, co-host, and cohort,
MD3 Marcus Dudley, checking in on the YOU. What's going on out there in podcast land? We are broadcasting live from the Think Tank Studios right here in Tallahassee, Florida. How you doing today, man?
Tired, boss.
Always?
Yeah, just particularly today. You know, I got back problems that flare up every once in a while, and today is particularly old man Dudley day.
Doctor said I need a backiotomy.
I need a checkup from the neck down, bro. I'm telling you, everything from the crack of my ass to the nape of my neck is just angry right now. It hurts.
I feel you. It's weird. Mine's been bad, but today is not as bad. So
yeah,
I'm gonna take it as a win.
Yeah, I'm a little better than I was yesterday and a little bit better than I was the day before. Like going into the weekend, it was everything I could do just to stay upright and mobile. And like, I'm doing better now, but I'm also just so sick of hurting. Like, that's the main thing that gets me. I'm just like, when's my time, Lord? When's my time? You know?
Bro, I felt that. You ever hear somebody say something in a song or a movie and you shouldn't relate to it, but you do to like your core?
Yes.
Do you have an example? Because I definitely do. Mostly,
but it's Jay-Z lyrics.
See, mine's Tupac. I shouldn't relate to it. It's not. When he says, "I'm tired of being poor and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch." I don't know why, but when he says, "I'm tired of being poor and even," I feel that, right. And I know I have nothing to. I'm not trying to like appropriate anything, but I feel the way he says that. I'm like, I get the exhaustion in your voice when you say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And so when you're talking about like, I'm just tired of being in pain, like I get you, bro.
Yeah,
it's just mental, physical, whatever it is. You're like, great day, man.
I mean, I can take one or the other. It's both at the same time, and I'm doing okay mentally, but just the fact that I'm hurting so bad is starting to really affect me mentally. Like, you know, it was taking my mood. I was here, and now like every day that I'm hurting a little bit more, I'm just like, it's just slowly wearing me down, and it's just, I'm so fucking sick of it. And the VA is not helping. I'm going to shout, if you work at the VA. Do your job. Just let me go get the therapy I need. Just give me a chiropractic appointment. Let me get some non-handy massages. I don't care. Like, whatever it is, man. Like, quit having me jump through hoop after hoop after hoop to see all the things it's not, so that we can maybe address the thing that's actually wrong with me. Rant over.
Hey.
You know what? Not rant over.
Keep going.
Same thing, man. Like I got a hemorrhoid thing that I was trying to get taken care of. Man, I had to go see a radiologist, a liver expert, a esophageal, you know, throat and ear, nose, and throat guy. Is just like, guys, I'm pretty sure the problem is the giant hemorrhoid that's sticking out of my ass right now. So could we please maybe just address the hemorrhoid in the room?
Any promotion we were going to have on YouTube. Look, we don't cut corners for you the listeners, man. There's so many times we've talked about like, try to not cuss in X amount of time, but like when we're passionate about something, it just happens. We're talking about medical stuff. So if you want to be a jerk about it, YouTube, go ahead.
That's right.
But I feel you though, man. I don't even, are we still playing Cats Always Bright at the beginning? And not on the video, we're not, but
no.
Either way, it's always bright.
It's always bright.
When Michael gets medicine at the VA.
That's right.
Yeah, shout out to Cats. Thank you. You provided a lovely intro music to us for a very long time. So
we are appreciative, yes.
Yeah. And shout out to Mr. A1, who again, we're gonna try. I'm still figuring out the video stuff here. Look, and we're new to this, but we have promised y'all that we'd make it to video at some point. I think we finally made the cut. So one camera, one angle, one take. But we're here though, man.
We're doing indie style, baby.
Yeah, we're gonna get Mr. A1 incorporated. But in the meantime and in between time, if you are looking for any kind of custom beats, any kind of custom music, anything like that, reach out to our dear friend Mr. A1. You can find him at a1reality.music@gmail.com. I'm telling you, the man has the flavors for you. If you got like an elevator in your house and you just need some music to come down to or something like that. If you're a superhero and you just, whenever you land, you just want to have
little like a stinger.
Yeah, like a Beats pill box that plays your like Temptations, like bum, bum, dun, 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 dun. It can't be that because, you know, but you want your own version of that, reach out to them. That's
That's it.
A1. Again,
That's
at
it.
a1reality.music@gmail.com. He's got the flavors for you. The man's a quadruple threat.
Uh-oh.
He sings. He dances.
That's right.
He does beats. And what else does he do, Michael?
I heard he was a London chimney sweep.
Oh, yeah?
Chimney. Actually, he might be Dick Van Dyke, now that I think about it, because Dick Van Dyke does all those things.
He might be. He might be. What other plugs we got?
Let's see. We're going to shout out to wolf.matt.tattoos for the beautiful artwork that you see that lets you know you are in the right locale to get your audio files fixed.
Yep. I'm telling you. And he did the artwork right
That's
here.
right.
Yes, I'm the guy that's wearing my own brand shirt on the show. I don't care.
Nobody else will.
I know, right? I will, right? Also, yeah, it's kind of funny. I'll tell the story real quick.
Go ahead.
I gave our wonderful mother one of our shirts, and it happened to be a certain size. And on when I was promoting something, I was like, "Yo, reach out if you want a shirt or whatever." Our cousin reached out, and he was like, "Yo, let me get one." And I was like, "What size?" Same size as one I just gave Mama Dukes. And I was like, "Sorry." I told the joke because I told. Oh, we got phone issues. Oh, sorry.
Phone interference.
Yeah, you're good. But anyways, I told that to go ahead and silence that way you got a chance. But I went ahead and told that to my mom, being like, yeah, cousin wanted it. Just kind of as a joke, being like, yeah, he asked too late. And she wanted to give it to him. So yeah.
The literal shirt off her back.
Yeah, the literal shirt off her back. She clothed you.
This is what she does for you. This is the sacrifices that are being made.
I say all that to say, yeah. So we do have some merch left. But
that's right.
Anyways, other than that, then man, reach out. All of our plugs are on pretty much on the YouTube. Just go to our details. Write us in at Gmail.
That's right.
What you've been watching podcast at gmail.com. The rest of them, just find them.
Right. Facebook.com/Deadly Bros Podcast. We are on Instagram at What You Been Watching.
That's it.
And on YouTube at WBW Podcasts.
That's it. Thank you for that.
No worries.
So how are you though, man? Just pain?
Just, making it through, brother. Making it through. Yeah, just like I said, ready for it. And the worst part is like when I sleep, like every time I toss and turn, my back hurts so bad it's waking me up. So then I'm up for another 20 minutes trying to fall asleep. And then maybe I'll fall asleep for an hour or so, go roll over again. And it's the whole cycle. It's just like, just let me get at least a good uninterrupted, like 6 hours of sleep, please.
I hear you. No, sleep the older you get, man, it's imperative.
Yeah.
So we're still working on the live stream stuff. So we're going to try to get our plugs down a little more clean and tight. But at this point, I think we're pretty much done plugging everything. It's all in I made sure they're on all the pages. So we'll just sit there.
What about you, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, dude. I'm good. I took my daughter to her first Florida State game.
How'd that go?
It was good, actually, man. She likes to cheer and clap and stuff. So it was, she enjoyed the fact that other people were
everybody else joining in. She's just like, oh, we get to do this now.
We get to do this publicly. Yeah, it was dope though.
That's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, man.
Were the Seminoles triumphant in there?
No, they did lose to a team I will not mention.
Son of a,
because they are the hated rival. But we did win the series, so I'm not going to cry.
So now who's laughing?
Yeah. We won 2 out of 3. So
that's it.
We got the series. But yeah, other than that though, man, I guess I do have a question for you.
Yes, sir. Hit me.
My brother, the reason why people tune out every single month or whenever they choose to tune into. What you been watching, my guy?
My guy, I just finished the new Netflix streaming series, Lord of the Flies.
Okay. How was that?
It was really, really engaging, albeit it was extremely slow in places. And I think it's intended to be that way. I mean, I read the book way back in the day, like middle school, just for funsies, and it's one of my favorite books I've ever read. I mean, but I tend to like darker material anyway. So I mean, the breakdown of a society and letting loose your savage nature and sort of telling the more qualified, intelligent people that they don't matter because we're hunters and we're strong and we're going to be the ones that run this thing because you guys don't eat without us. Like, well, okay. But also, who was the one that built the fire and the shelters and organized everybody to like maybe just stop shitting in the middle of camp and let's go find an actual latrine somewhere, that kind of thing.
Yeah. The old bid for power, man. It's weird. Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with the source material just because it's been around for so long. And I know that you and our father have talked about it a decent amount, and I know he's a pretty big fan of it as well.
Right. I mean, brief summary of the book is these kids are marooned on a desert island. It's just a group of boys. I can't remember. I think originally start off with like 20 or so, and then they get whittled down as things happen. And they go to build a society, like a functioning society in terms of like, all right, so we have the builders, we have the this, we have the that. And then there's a certain sect of boys that just separate themselves, and because they want to be the hunters, and they're led by this kid, Jack, who's just a total megalomaniacal monster, just this unbridled bid for power. So, and then things deteriorate from there. And
so when you say it was slow, is it slow because it was faithful adaptation of the book, or was it just they just chose to focus on certain parts that bring things to a screeching halt?
No. The book was very slow in and of itself. The series spends a lot of time doing establishing shots and sort of almost like nature porn kind of thing, because they very obviously shot like on location in like Fiji or Hawaii or something like that. And so it's just these gorgeous shots of the jungle, and sort of like they do these close up of bugs and different birds and stuff like that are very interesting. It's gorgeous to watch, especially in HD. But also they took out of the book, like within the book, they go more inside the kids' heads and like what they're thinking. And obviously it's kind of hard to do that in cinema without having like a voiceover narrator or something like that.
Right.
So it relies a lot more on audience introspection and sort of trying to understand the emotionality of the scene and what the kids might be thinking. It's a little weird on pacing because it ramps way up and then it slows way, 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 way down. I mean, almost jarringly so. But again, the whole point of the book or of the series is to make you feel unease, as if like you're waiting for the bomb to go off. Like you see the bomb, that it's going to blow, but there's no timer set to it. So when it goes off is anybody's guess, Yeah,
it's the pot set to boil, and it's
yes,
just,
yeah.
I hear you. Yeah, I always thought that the concept of that, is that the one where they have the conch shell?
Yeah. Whoever has the conch has the power. Yeah.
I know South Park made the episode about that way back in the day.
Yeah.
When the M word, they get all their parents in trouble for molesting them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so it's I just always thought, like, conceptually, the Lord of the Flies is just so interesting, just in terms of society. And it's like you would think that just because they're kids, everyone's like bidding for, would work together because but it's the crumble of it just seems inevitable. It's just more of a character study based on society, or a societal study with these characters that play their roles in it. So
that's kind of one of the things that I notice, is that in theory, like this is, a bunch of boys come together from the real world and are forced to live together. It would be the perfect time for them to hammer out their differences and make like this utopian society, or not even utopian, but at least a functioning society where, everybody's healthy and for the most part taken care of, and everybody works to attack problems equally. The main problem comes in is when they're children playing at men, instead of looking at society with fresh eyes and really trying to figure out, how do we make this work? They base certain things or ideologies or behaviors on things that they've seen adults do. And so now they think, oh, that's just what we're supposed to do.
That makes sense. That's a really good point, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is kind of messed up, man. It's like any system that you look at on paper, you know what I mean? You're like, it would function pretty well. Like, whether it be, some people are going to get turned up. Like, communism on paper sounds great. So does socialism to a degree, but it's or so does capitalism. Until we get to this point.
But it only works if everybody agrees to play by the same set of rules.
Yeah.
The problem in each of those systems lies when one person goes like, I found a loophole.
Right. Or when, I'm pretty much, we're all capitalists here in America or whatever, but when it becomes a dictatorship, but not of like rules or anything like that, but financially, when it's like certain people dictate all the terms of all the money, you're like, it's not really free market anymore. Or like
right.
with, communism, Animal Farm does a pretty good study on that one. It's like, oh, these rules applies to you, but like not us.
Right.
It's just, you know, absolute power corrupts absolutely each time.
Yeah.
And it's funny that even on a desolate island with a conch shell being representative of power, it's like people are still scheming and plotting, and even in the children. So, like I said, conceptually, it's something I want to watch. It's a little too heady for me right now.
It is. It's a beautiful watch. It's not an easy watch. There's definitely a lot of stuff that goes down where you're like, ooh, that's pretty harsh one to take, especially to the thinking in terms of morality and sympathy for the kids, in terms of, man, I really hope these kids get off the island. At some point you're like, I hope most of these kids get off the island. Some of you fuckers need to spend more time on the island. I'm just saying.
I know, right? Just away from everybody. It is why I always like movies and television, is when or any kind of media where they can pull the magic trick that we've talked about, in terms of like, I'm rooting for these kids to get off the island, and by the end of it, you're like, you little fuckers.
Not you.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah. Like the real you would be like, no, go get them.
Right.
Go get them.
Right.
Yeah. So, what are there any wild swings? I mean, I know you didn't read the book recently, but any wild swings that they take in terms of adaptations, or that miss or hit or whatever? Or do they focus on things that really
they I don't remember if they did this in the book or not, but they go a little bit into the series is told in 4 chapters, and each one is titled after one of the boys on the island. And during their chapter, they go back into the kids' history and do a flashback of like kind of why they are the way that they are. And I don't think that they did that in the book. I understand why they did it in the series, because they're trying to create a more emotional connection between the kids and the audience, in terms of garnering sympathies, and even with the main villain, this kid named Jack that I told you, like, reverts to this complete savage, basically cult leader kind of thing. They go into his backstory a little bit, and about his emotional trauma and dealing with his father, and his father was kind of emotionally abusive and things like that. So it gains a little bit of sympathy, but in the same breath, it's like, yeah, but you also smashed the kid's head with a rock. So how sympathetic can I be? Like, ooh, my daddy didn't hug me, so I'm going to push a big boulder on the fat kid.
I'm not laughing at that. It's just, I didn't expect you to say that. Oh man, we do. Sometimes it's weird with like villains. I'm glad to understand it, but it doesn't change the fact. And with kids, it's weird in the fact of, this kid is now thrown to the worst case scenario, and so he's just, like you said, he's reflecting what he thinks it should be.
Right.
In terms of, well, this is how my dad dictates his authority, and now there's, he has checks and balances. Now there's no checks and balances.
Right, exactly.
I am the law. I'm Judge Dredd out here. You know what I mean? So that's interesting. That's interesting. Well, do you want to rate it? Or you want to keep talking? I haven't seen it, so I can't really help you too much.
I will say, like, for all the flaws that the series has, and there's a few, it like I said, the pacing, it ramps way up, and then it just drags on. You're like, okay, I got it. More shots of the jungle and the kids being introspective, and okay, we're good. It is so beautifully shot, and the progression of the color table that they use, like when the kids first are on the island, and sort of everything's not really, like they're trying to figure out where they are and what the situation is and how best to move forward. It's all these like real mottled grays and blues, and everything sort of has like a foggy hue to it or whatever. And then when they form the society, then the greens and the blues and the yellows in the jungle really start to pop. You can really start to see more, not color, but the details and the fabric and texture of the kids' clothing starts to pop out a little bit more. And then once the society starts to break down, then they introduce like very hyper saturated, reds and oranges and yellows. And then like there, nighttime is these really deep, rich blues and purples. And anytime the kids start getting a little too existential or like angry or starting to let the savage beast out or whatever you may have, it gets a little blurry around the edges, and sort of, the center of the screen is in very sharp focus, but then around the edges, it's almost like they just took Vaseline, on the corners. And then by the end, it's just this wild, it's back to the grays and the saturated blues, but this time they're in like super HD. So like you see every when the kids paint their face, you know, with mud and ash, you can see the texture and the you know, little stones and stuff like, you know what I mean? The sandiness of their war paint.
Hell yeah.
So
it sounds like a director of photography knew what he was doing, and a director had an actual vision for how we're actually going to make this thing look.
Yeah. It's a really, really interesting progression through the visual medium of the emotionality of each particular part of the series. So
hell yeah.
I looked up who it was before I came in. Like, I wish I could remember their name, but they did whoever they are did a phenomenal job. It's very, very cool to watch.
Mario Van Peebles.
That it was Mario Van Peebles.
Or if ever I'm not
Solo
sure
himself.
Yeah.
You know, he was the bad guy in Highlander 3.
For real?
Yeah.
You could be lying to me right now.
I'm absolutely not.
Yeah,
he plays a sorcerer.
That's what's up. I don't know why his name came to Shout out to Mario Van Peebles, underrated performer of the week in Highlander 3.
That's it. No.
Do something with that.
No. Do not give that movie any credit.
No. He's got it. It's too late. It's in the books. All right, we gonna review it?
Let's see. I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna rate it a beast, unknown and unseen, lurking in the jungle, and at night the beast grows.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. That was good. I hope that was a direct quote.
I mean, you know,
close enough.
Go read the book. Figure it out. I don't know.
I know, right?
You watch it
to educate you.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like at some point, the kids split into two different tribes. You know, Jack takes all the kids. He's like, you know, Piggy and Ralph just want to do boring adult stuff, and they're more concerned with cleaning and building. Who wants to sing and dance and hunt with me? And so, like, they just go to the other side of the island and they hunt this pig and they kill this big wild boar. But of course, they have no way to refrigerate it, and nobody knows anything about butchering, so it essentially just sits on the beach and rots. And I thought it was a really, really good metaphor for, you know, what happens when you let leaders make empty promises that have no real backing.
Oh, well done. See, this is the insight I need. Yeah, that's a hell of a metaphor, actually. To sit there and, we'll go hunt and we'll go kill, and then you provide that, then it's like, then
now what?
Is our life improved in any way? It's like I feel like we've kind of jumped the shark in terms of, you know, there's a line in that movie, the one with Sam Rockwell, not everything ever all at once. Good luck, have fun, don't die.
Okay.
Where he's like, advancements in technology are only advancements if it helps people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like with these data centers and all this, granted, he comes from a dystopian future where AI takes over, but he's talking about, like, with social media and stuff like that. Like, are you closer? Are you this? Are you that? No. Then it's like, then what is
it?
It's not an advancement.
Right.
Like, it's pretty cut and dry. So
right.
He's talking about AI as well. It's like, yeah, he's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know it was a little bit off-putting, but or not quite, not a one for one, but yeah, it just made me think of that for some reason. Mm-hmm. So but yeah, if you're advancing, we're gonna kill the pig and then we'll be better, and then you kill the pig and you're not any better, it's like, okay, now we're just down one pig.
Right.
Cool.
Right. So,
shit, man. Well, what else you been watching?
Let's see. After that, I watched the Marvel one-shot PunIsher, One Last Kill.
See, I have
starring
watched
John Barenthal.
I watched that as well. I'm in the middle of watching Daredevil season 2, and I wanted to talk about it, but I'll just wait till I finish it. So,
yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
So we'll talk that, and it's gonna be a short episode. I did dig up some mailbag. That's your
mailbag.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
So yeah, I watched One Last Kill as well.
What'd you think, man? What'd you think?
Honestly, man, I liked it. It wasn't revolutionary in the fact of I didn't. It was what I wanted it to be in terms of it's just a one shot. You get 51 minutes of just John Barenthal. He's really good at playing the Punisher, and it's a reminder that the Punisher is also really good at what he does.
Yes.
And they made it pretty tight action, and it's not a whole bunch of plot. And I didn't really.
Yeah, there's only probably about 10 minutes worth of setup in the whole thing. And then once Monucci comes in and is like, I'm going to let everybody know where you're at, it's pretty much rocking and going after that.
Yeah, it's about, they kind of split it down the middle. It's about 20 minutes, because I happened to look at my phone. It's about 20 minutes of setup, and the rest is pretty much go. And then there's about 10 minutes at the end that they just kind of, but for the most part, you get a solid 30 minutes of just, hey.
Him mowing people down in grand fashion.
Yeah, they took a page out of the the movie The Raid a little bit.
That's what I kept thinking. Yeah,
I'm not knocking it, which is funny. People made fun of the one. I don't know if you saw the internet being kind to something. I'm just kidding. No, the internet was ripping apart. There's a CGI shot where he jumps off the building.
I know what you're talking about. And actually, I saw that before the internet had spoiled it for me. So I noticed it as it was happening. I go, well, that looked odd. And for a minute, I thought maybe like I was, I was folding laundry at the time. So I was like, well, maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I missed something. And I rewound it a little bit. Yeah, there's a shot where he falls off a building into like a, I don't know, an AC unit or something. And it looks completely unfinished CGI. Like you might have well done that shit with like Rankin and Bass claymation.
The worst part why I feel bad for him though is because apparently they had like this whole stunt rig set up and it was a really complicated shot. And then the one part that they needed to just replace the stunt man with his face, they just kind of botched. And so I feel bad like for John Barenthal and the fact of like, it was not his problem. You know what I mean? He doesn't finish stuff in post.
I know, but he was a producer.
Yeah, he was, but it didn't completely take it out of it for me, man. It was a slow-mo dive. Like
it didn't take it off.
Made it seem like it was going to rule the one shot. It's like,
I mean, it is a bad shot. It's a bad shot. But does it take you completely out? Other than the minute that for that 1 second of being like, well, that looks stupid.
Yeah, but there was so much other things that they did right in terms of the sequencing of the action and terms of what we were talking about. John Barenthal literally lit himself on fire for this. So like his commitment to it, I'm all about.
Yeah. I love a good man on fire bit, man.
Yeah, when he charges through the door and starts.
Can you imagine you go to kill this dude and you light the interior of his apartment on fire, and the next thing you know is he's just running at you on fire and kills you with a K-bar knife?
Yeah.
Just
yeah, that was a pretty good John Barenthal guttural noise.
I've decided if we need to do a drinking game with that, every time John Barenthal does his Punisher, like
yeah, Sawyer, Angie's son showed me this clip. Somebody put it together because the internet's undefeated of John Barenthal, and it's every time he goes, "Let me tell you something," and it's a lot. Let me tell you, it's different movies, different everything. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Which I like him a lot. The fact that he wrote this and produced it, and, he actually co-wrote the FX one shot that they just did for The Bear as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, called Gary, something like that. It's him and Eben Bach, however you say his name.
Moss Barrack, yeah.
It's them when they drive to Indiana. It's a prequel to the show The Bear.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he co-wrote that as well. So he's like really coming up. And anyone that's like, hey, I'm going to write the work for me.
Hats off. Yeah, totally, man. Yeah, so, go for it.
I like, but to get back to the Punisher though, I liked it a lot actually.
I did.
Was it like revolutionary? Did I learn all sorts of new things about the Punisher? There's only one real character change, and trigger warning to everybody. We're going to mention self-deletion here, but and there's a lot of violence in this. So like clearly.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a Punisher movie.
Yeah. Yeah. But the way it starts though, they do something I appreciate in a lot of time. And I don't want we've banged the drum about how people misinterpret the Punisher and what he stands for a lot. It's like police having the Punisher symbol is literally the same thing as having an anarchy sticker with the I vote.
Right.
Like they cannot coexist at the same time.
Right.
Like he is above the law, quote unquote. You know what I mean? So anyways, but one of the things that other people misinterpret quite often, and probably I'm guilty of too, is that people make it seem like he's this completely like rational guy. He's not.
Oh yeah.
And the one thing that I really appreciate that they focused on, and they take a lot of it, and John Barenthal himself said that he took that he used a certain Garth Ennis run with I forget the artist's name. They did a really good run on the Punisher though. Great day. It was Garth Ennis and somebody else. Not trying to forget your name, but you did awesome work on the Punisher. Like
was it Wade?
No. I'm not going to sit here and guess. Anyway, he said that he used that as his North Star, right? That particular run. And what people often forget is they think that Punisher was just like this. He came back from whatever war he was in, from serving, from being in the Recon Marines and whatever. And he just came back and everything was just like, oh boy, I'm this loving family man. And then everything, they took him from me and they loved me so much. And that's what drove me to craziness, is the love that we had.
Right.
He was broken.
Right.
He came back broken. He never really came back. And not in that particular run, but there's a run where, because comic books, he gets to communicate with his dead wife. And she's like, I was planning on divorcing you. And they don't do this in the show.
Right.
I was planning on divorcing you. we were miserable.
Right.
You were absent all the time.
Right.
Even when you were home, you were never there.
Yeah, you were always eager to get back to, you know, the war zone or wherever it was, because that's what made sense to you. Like the loving father and adoring husband, like that was the hard part for you. That was that was the not the mask, but the part that you were trying to play for everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, your real self would be rather, you know, ankle deep in bullets flying around your head.
Yeah. And so like, and he's not wrong. You could tell that there was a time of his life that was what he was dedicated to, but something changed in this war. And they touch on it very briefly through a series of opening montages of him, you know, because there cannot be an episode of The Punisher in which you do not see his family die in some way. Believe that part.
It's like the Uncle Ben.
Yeah, but they did a lot in the Netflix. Boy, they replayed that, which I get. He's a man that wakes up with this pain every day, right?
Sure.
So it's a little on the nose. Sometimes it is a bit spoon feeding spoons at sometimes, but in this one, they don't. But I like the fact that they made it sound. They kind of imply like this marriage wasn't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
He was not a good person, but not because he's some like sick. He's just sick, you know what I mean? Not because he's like morally bankrupt, but he's a sick man, and the idea that like they show his like son diving in the pool and being like, daddy, watch this. And then he turns on like, you didn't even see it. And he's like, daddy, read me this. He's like, I don't have time. I don't know. And so that the fact that he was checked out before this marriage came to the abrupt ending and this family came to this abrupt ending that it did, I really appreciated that they showed that. Because it's a real, and again, I'm not damning him as it's the PTSD of it all.
Sure. Yeah.
And the fact that then he sits around this.
It normalized him a little bit or humanized him, like made him a little bit more, I hate to say realistic, but instead of being this, you know, like wild
everything to me. Like,
this spirit of vengeance, whatever. It's like, oh no, this is a dude who has no idea how to channel his trauma except through violence and anger.
Right. And his family, even before he left, were being punished by the effects of war.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And not by, again, I'm not like blaming him.
Not like he was abusive to them or anything, but just like he could never connect he could never connect to the family life because of the things that he had done and seen on the front.
Right. And so that, and then coupled with the fact of just, the fact that he's not well mentally really meant a lot to me. The fact that, I wouldn't diagnose him as schizophrenic, but he's right on the line. You know what I mean? He's having breaks from reality.
At least manic depressive or something like that.
Well, he's having breaks from reality due to the PTSD.
Sure.
And the idea that, like, again, people, he is like the definition of the anti-hero, right? Like when we've talked about on the show before, people are like, just because he kills people, but he's killing all the right guys. That makes him like, Frank Castle is hard to like.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's supposed to be hard to like. He is a tough pill to swallow. And he is a man, much like John Wick, where they say of focus and conviction. Like it is
a singular purpose.
Yeah. It is a straight line of what is and what is not. And trust me, it's not on the good side of things. This is the light, it's not on the good side of things.
Right.
And so I like the fact that they make him, he's a tough pill to swallow, as opposed to, and again, people misunderstanding the fact of just like, because we all romanticize things. Oh, if somebody did that to my family, I don't know what I'd do. And so that's the relatable part.
Sure.
And so this idea that he's sitting
around.
It's
the fantasy of like, not every guy, but like you said, like if somebody hurt my family, there'd be no ends to the earth. I wouldn't go. He's that fantasy realized, it is that. It's very ego, toxic masculinity driven, but that is the fantasy.
Right. And so I think they did a great job of that in this one.
Sure.
Because you get behind him in like the Thomas Jane movie and you're like, he's just out on vacation enjoying his great time. He's so well balanced and well adjusted. And then this happened. And it's like, no, he wasn't well adjusted at all. Like you think that person, it just emerges because of some, like, it's not Batman where he's some innocent kid and then that innocence is stripped from him. Like he wasn't that person before. He wasn't innocent before. He was in the line of duty. He was a murderer and a savage before that because he had to be. And then it was like he took that with him. He wasn't well adjusted before that. And I like the fact that while he says to his ghost, Carl, the guy, he's like, I need help. And they admit that. It almost actually made me cry because it was such a real scene. He's like,
oh yeah, he's literally broken down. You can see the anguish on his face. Yeah,
I'm having breaks from reality due to the PTSD, and I have all this rage and nowhere to do it.
Yeah, there's that scene where he's talking to Karen and she's basically telling him, like, you gave up, that you gave up on the military, you gave up on your family, you gave up on your, war against crime, and that's all you do is give up. And he's breaking down, and she goes, it's okay, I'm still here, and gives him a hug, and he's breaking down and goes, Karen, are you here right now? Are you real?
Yeah.
And then she just disappears. It's like, oof.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like the fact that they show like he's not doing well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's not doing well at all. And so I thought that was a wonderful touch, and it's sad to watch. And then you see something happen, and he
I will say all that emotional goodwill goes out the window the second that the raid of it all happens. And then it's but this is what I came to see, is just him stabbing people in the eye with a screwdriver and
that was
walking through people like blades of grass.
And that's what I was going to say. And then you're reminded very much so that John Barenthal is very good at playing the Punisher, and the Punisher is still very good at what he does.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the guttural, like, he's pretty good at it, man. And so that was, again, I appreciated that aspect of it. So the action, I want you to talk about that a little bit, because I've been bumping my gums, but I thought they did a great job in terms of, we've talked about how the bar of action movies have been raised. Hang on one second. Oh, we did not have the red light on while we were recording.
I thought it'd been funny had we switched shirts while we were off, just to like throw the audience off.
I know, right? Real tough. Yeah, sorry about that though.
It's all good.
It is what it is. Yeah, I had to switch back into show. But we were talking about the action sequences, how we've raised the bar up in terms of action movies.
Yes, yeah, especially for the Disney stuff. Absolutely. I mean, this is violence at its most glorious. I mean, it's extremely bloody. Like, they don't shy away from stuff at all. Very, very graphic violence, which you want in a Punisher show, Punisher one shot.
Yeah.
It's the day he's hugging puppies and passing out food to the homeless. I'll be like, well, they missed the mark on this one.
Yeah, I don't need that version of the Punisher. Not now, not ever.
Yeah. So
yeah, no.
I really liked it. You keep bringing up the raid, but I think that's a really, really good reference in terms of the way that this is shot. I mean, essentially, it's the Punisher ends up killing all of this crime family except for the matriarch, Ma Nucci, and she basically comes to Frank and says, at like what 6:45, I'm going to tell
47,
yeah, 6:47, everybody that owes me a favor or ever needed a handout from me or depended on our family, you took that all away from them. And so now they're hungry. I'm going to let them know exactly where you are. And he's just living in this, like basically project tenement building.
Yeah, pretty close to it.
So, and it's basically him fighting his way out of the building and just having to mow down scores and scores of people with various shotguns and screwdrivers and instruments of pain.
Yeah, and they set it up pretty well in the fact that before that he was gonna, off himself at his family's gravesite, and he's like, I'm done being the Punisher, because they set it up with a news clip that says like, oh, there's a power vacuum in Little Italy or Little Sicily because the pretty much we suspect the Punisher killed all these people. And the only thing that was a little bit unbelievable was just like it became, that part of New York became like a war zone almost. I get why they did it, because then it played into his PTSD of it just being background noise to him. You know what I mean? Of him just like walking through a literal war zone in his mind. And
there's literally a crowd of people lighting a cop car on fire, and he just walks past it in slow mo, and the car goes out of focus.
Punisher.
Yeah, he's like, there's no more mission. I've got nothing left.
It's like, I could think of a couple.
Like, yeah, you sure? There seems to be a lot of violence happening around you, like in your neighborhood.
Yeah. Which
maybe, I don't know,
caused all that too. That's
right.
I mean, they kind of do that clip on the news, like, yeah, at least under the old bosses, you could go outside. Like, we can't even go outside anymore, and this and that and the third. So,
but it's also like, it's so hyper violent and fictionalized. It's like a Mad Max scene or something, where it's just like, wow, there is no police presence like at all.
Yeah,
there's no, especially this is America. It's not like every store owner isn't armed and just being like, shh, don't come in.
Right.
Right.
And
they're all these helpless NPCs that have no control or authority over their life, other than like, I sure hope the mad horde doesn't come through today. I'm really not prepared.
Right.
On the one day I keep my daughter home from school.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, I mean, they did a good job of setting up in terms of why they. And I get it's only 50 minutes, so I'm not asking for a huge setup and payoff. But the things that they set up, they did pay off, even if it was subtlety. With a little bit subtly in the fact of what I liked is when he first goes to the grave site, there's all these little trinkets all over the grave. And I didn't notice what they were. I thought they were just like, oh, memories that Frank has and like gifts. I didn't realize until after the end, because about halfway through his spree, he has a choice to go kill the boss lady, the Mama Nucci, who got in a car and drove off, or he has to go turn around and go save the shop owner who had his daughter home from school that day. And he makes a choice to go back and save the shop owner and his daughter in a very violent fashion. He stabbed the dude with a pen repeatedly. Got his Joe Pesci on. Which the funny part was is after they had the overhead shot of the guy like dead,
spitting up blood.
He was dead, and you could still see motion in the background. Like this guy was still going at him. So I like that. But
which proves once again the pen is mightier than the sword.
That's right. That's right.
Although a good AK-47 and a shotgun apparently will also get the job done.
It's the difference of people that think they know what when they're out here play gangster.
That's right.
Versus somebody who really knows what they're doing.
That's right. And he, to his credit, he does a lot of things that are the way he moves and the way that he operates, even as he's firing and taking down people, it's very military. It's very like precise. Like he's not, shooting from the hip Rambo style. Like he's keeping the gun butt locked into his shoulder. He's looking down the barrel. Whenever he picks up a new gun, he always, breaks open the clip, sees if it's loaded, reloads it, grabs an extra clip. Like it's very, the way that he moves, you can tell that John Barenthal did a lot of field training into how would this person who is essentially very impetuous, he's very but he's also very methodical, and he knows what he's doing. He's done this so many times that it's literally like first nature to him.
No, that was well done, impetuous. I like that. He did and I'm not saying like one for one, but the video of when Keanu Reeves did the John Wick training and it was real deal. You're like, oh, these are live rounds and this dude really knows what the hell he's doing. Same thing when you saw Halle Berry do which is also equal when she did the dog training.
Right.
And and there's the behind the scenes footage of her. By the end, the dogs would only listen to her. It was like, oh, you could tell John Barenthal put in the work to actually make this like, I can't just if we're doing the Punisher and we chop it to hell, I'm gonna be honest with you, I would have been like, I'm good. Like, I mean, I would have watched it still because I'm right.
You talking about like the quick camera cuts
and every time he, to try to keep it, and I understand there's camera tricks where you just flip to the other way where you're showing, okay, now the guy's coming this way. But even the way he rounded corners and stuff, I'm sure some people that
lock it in and switch it around and
he was, I'm sure that somebody that does tactical training and stuff for a living can point out all kinds of flaws. To the layman, it looks cool as shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm for it.
Right. Like, oh, I believe this dude is trained to do exactly this. Like just keep sending them. As long as I got bullets or a pen, we're fucking, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
I will say that there's some pretty unbelievable. I mean, like he takes a lot of abuse and punishment in this. Like he gets hit in the head with a bat and just kind of shakes it off but I think that's sort of the superhero of it all is like the Punisher's main power isn't that he's really good at killing people. It's that he just takes a punch better than anybody else on the planet.
And they did that in the Daredevil season 2 as well. He got to the point where you would be bleeding out and like probably when you get hit in the head, you probably go into shock. And he's just like, whoa, recovers in 2 days with some, you know what I mean?
Just downs a half bottle of aspirin and some Jack Daniels. He's like, I'm back in it.
So I'm willing to accept all that. You know what I mean? As the point, like I get it. And he does take some damage and he does show it, but he walks on with a pretty good limp, but he takes it is weird also. And this is just me nitpicking the show, but it's just the way that things are set up. When he does run out of ammo, somebody with a knife just happens to turn up instead of somebody with a gun.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just the time. I get it for the show. It looks visually fine. Like, oh, how is he going to get out of this one? Oh, you take the knife from this guy, whatever. Right. Until you get to the point. The way he uses people as human shields, I also really appreciated that. Being like, oh, I'm out of ammo. Flip this guy real quick and charge this a-hole.
Right. There's a scene where, and again, it's weird that for such a large army that's supposedly funded by the mafia, there's a strangely large amount of people armed only with like lead pipes and axe handles. You know, like really, you guys couldn't find more, just a few more guns, just to
go use that pipe on somebody with a gun.
right. I mean, it is New York. I'm sure there's guns just lying around, you know.
No, I hear you.
Some dude's coming at him with a giant pipe wrench. It's like, really, man, you had to raid grandpa's toolbox to go try and kill the Punisher. You didn't come up with a better plan than that.
I get it also did show the desperation of these people if she put a big enough bounty out. And it's like every low life in the, you know, they hear about this, they're coming to get you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're willing to trash anyone. I told them trash anyone in your way to get it. And so I kind of get some scumbag thing like, oh, I wasn't really in it until I see him. And I was like, I'm trying to get.
Just picks up a piece of broken wood nearby.
Yeah. Throw this toaster at him. You know what I mean? Yeah.
They got nunchucks, bolos, Indian burns.
Right. No, but back to we got sidetracked a little bit. One thing some of the payoffs we were talking about is that, you know, he's going to off himself and he does, and he sees the ghost of his little girl and he's mad. Oh, come back. But when the trinkets on the grave,
yes,
I thought that they were just like, oh, I saw like a watch on there and I'm like, oh, some analogy of like he didn't have enough time with his what? Wrong. Those are all tokens of his vengeance, of like things that and I think this is my interpretation of it, of things that when he was killing his victims, being like, this is gonna almost like me paying a debt to my wife of why I'm still alive. Like instead of joining you, and he ain't going to heaven if it does exist. Let's be real. Right. Like instead of me joining you in the afterlife, these are the things of my purpose and that. And at the end, he cleared all that away when he saved the shop owner's daughter, and she gave him like a little rose.
Yeah, paper rose.
Yeah, paper rose. And he cleared all that away of like, it's a token of saving someone as opposed to token of punishment.
Right.
I thought that was a really subtle but nice payoff.
I
like
think
good writing.
I think you're not far off on that. I don't know that you're 100% right, but I'd be willing to bet if we talk to the show writers, they would say something along that track for sure.
Yeah.
Like maybe he's taking little tokens or items as like proof of kill, or it's like almost collecting scalps or ears or something like that. But instead, he's taking personal items from people that he's offed in his quest for vengeance, and laying them at the altar of his family in terms of like, look what I've done for you.
Right.
And then in the end, he clears it all away and puts down the little token of like appreciation that was given to him rather than taken.
Yeah. And he says to his, you know, talking to himself, he's like, I met someone today, kind of reminded me of you. Talking to his little girl. So I get it. They do a good job of, he's a man, he's a broken man, but like when he gets in his Punisher mode, you're like, oh, this is your purpose. This is why you are doing what you're doing. And that's why does it like revolutionize the Punisher? No. Is it exactly what I want out of 50 minutes of the Punisher?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Do you want to rate it? Or you want to talk about it more? Or just...
Oh man. I mean, I think that pretty much covers it. Like I said, it's
50 minutes.
It's very digestible. It's not something that's going to, I'd be surprised if they didn't build on this, you know, by following up maybe in Spider-Man or something like that. Probably not in Spider-Man, but maybe down the road in Daredevil or a new Punisher series that may be coming, if they don't address this as a jumping off point, at least, if not directly, at least secondarily, like just they're going to use this as a thing that happened along the path of this other bigger storyline. But yeah, it's very digestible. It's like you said, it's exactly what I want in a Punisher movie, of just like, how many different ways can Frank Castle really fuck people up? Turns out, infinite number of ways.
Yeah, I think I liked Werewolf One Night just because it was so different.
Yes,
but if they're just going to do a singular, like if they want to do one of these for like Nova,
please,
you know what I mean? This would be the
Marvel. Kevin Feige, we're talking to you.
Yeah, like. This is a good blueprint in terms of, it's a character that we like, that it's like, it informs you just, I mean, the Punisher's, I don't mean this in a mean way, he's fairly, you get it. I don't want to say one note because that's degrading a little too much, but you get it. You know what I mean?
I mean,
it dives into a psyche much more in this one.
His backstory isn't so complicated that it needs so much setup to where it's like, okay, so now that you understand that his Uncle Ben died and there was responsibility, and then there was the radioactive spider and blah, blah, like now he was a loving family man. He's a broken man from the horrors of war, and now he's got a singular mission to take the war to crime.
And we'll explain some of his psyche in the meantime. Yeah, yeah. So it's something like this.
A little Sousson.
Yeah, it was like Nova's like, oh, I'm the last of the Xandar Xandarians and the corpse are gone, and it's my mission to rebuild them, and I will take the knowledge of Xandar and let's go fight. Like, cool.
Let's go.
Run that for 15. So this, I hope this is going to be, again, I like Werewolf by Night just because it was different, but I like this blueprint a bit more in terms of expanding on something that's like, hey, we can run this for 50 minutes. So
yeah. And this one's very A to B to C. I mean, almost directly in terms of like cinematography and direction that it goes.
Yeah,
so.
It's 30 minutes of adrenaline in the middle. You're just like, go. And they literally play heavy metal. Like,
I love it. When the heavy metal kid, they're playing like Hatebreed or something like that. I was like, oh, good music choice. Okay.
Yeah, especially wanting a Punisher series for sure. So we want to rate it?
I'm going to rate it so many bullets. Yeah. So many.
Yeah. I'll give it that too.
Yeah.
I like people kept bringing him guns. Oh, for me. It's like a white dot showing up right in front of Pac-Man. He's like, what do I do with this white dot in front of me? Do I do what I've been doing the whole time to all the other white dots?
Say the line, Bart. Say the line.
I know, right? Oh man, well, cool. Yeah, I will rate it. John Barenthal is very good at being the Punisher.
There we go.
Shout out to him for writing it. I think he also hinted at, I didn't do much research into this, that he would continue to do the Punisher if he had not like full authority, but if he continued to write and it'd be if he had something,
he wants to be hands-on.
Yeah, hands-on with it. I don't know if he means like if he continues to write it directly or if it's kind of like, hey, now that we've done this, I know how to do the Punisher on my own terms. Sure. And I'm willing to continue to be the Punisher as long as it's on these set of terms.
Well, I mean, at some
degree, not
at some point,
my speculation.
Yeah. No. I feel it. At some point, it's like telling Bruce Willis how to play John McClane. It's like, listen, man.
Right.
I appreciate the notes, but I got you.
Right.
It's good. It's good.
That's a good poll.
I'm reminded of this. I forget who told me, but where I heard the story, but apparently he was on the phone trying to get one of the like Die Hard 5 or whatever made, and he was on the phone with one of the producers and giving a bunch of notes, and they were talking about it for hours, and finally Bruce Willis goes, okay, all right, I hear you. So let me ask you, who's your second choice to play John McClane? Oh, okay, cool. So my way? Cool, thanks. Click.
Yeah, I think it was Kevin Smith. Though.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a gangster story, though. So who's your second to play John McClane? Oh, yeah, nobody. Okay,
that's right.
That's what I thought. Anyways, you want to take a quick break before we dive into some questions?
Let's do it, sir. We're going to open up that viewer mailbag.
That's what's up. We'll be right back from our sponsor, Bulletproof Vests. Apparently, Frank Castle doesn't need them. Apparently. We'll be right back.
And we are back from our sponsors.
That's right. Bulletproof vests. Not sure how they work because every time in the movie somebody has one. Somebody has a bullet and that's anti. And then you got a vest that's anti. And then they got to get a bullet that's anti-vest. So it just keeps going like that. It just keeps going like that forever.
That's a lot of anti.
Like we have something that jams their radar. Well, we got to radar jammer. Well, we got to jam that jammer.
We got to jam the jammers. We put the jam on the jam.
Right. And then where's the peanut butter?
Anyway, where's the peanut butter? Anyway, Bulletproof Vest available now in the Kmart back to school shopping section.
Anyways.
Anywho's.
Read me some damn questions. I don't know how to pivot out of that one.
Yeah, don't laugh too hard. They might send out thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry. Keep going. Anyways, we got some questions.
That's right. We're going to take a chance now to open up the viewer mailbag. That's right. The listener mailbag. That's right. Some questions to be pondered upon and responded by your boys here. People what they want.
All right, I got one question we're going to start with because this is directed towards me.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it here. All right. Pretty much what I don't have it right here on with me. Somebody was saying, what's up with all the jerseys? I thought you were an Eagles fan, blah, 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 blah.
Because you wear various jerseys of not Eagles variety?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. So first off, go Birds. Secondly, I have a jersey problem. I stopped drinking and I got a jersey problem. And then here's the other thing.
That's right. I got a drinking problem.
I know, right? So the other thing is I collect pretty much jerseys from wherever I go. If it's hockey, that's one thing. But when it comes to the NFL teams, I've put this on our Instagram before. I am collecting one Florida State player from all 32 teams. So that being said, I'm usually in a Florida State jersey, or if it's I was in a Walter Jones Seahawks jersey. That one got some love before they went to the Super Bowl. I was showing some love. Walter Jones is a Hall of Fame player. He was one of the best offensive linemen of all time. Not me. He was a Florida State stud, and so I was wearing his jersey. When I was wearing the Raiders one, that was Fred Biletnikoff, so on and so forth. So go Birds first and foremost, but there you go. And don't question my fandom, please.
How about you just wear what you want? How about that?
See this? I do what I want, but no, just addressing it. So
cool.
Anyways, what other questions we got, my friend?
Let's see. What else we got? Here we go. What popular movie trope needs to be permanently retired?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'll start. I got one.
Yeah, please. I
got one. So I don't know exactly what trope this is, but I can give an example. And it's when in a romance movie, the main guy in question, the hot guy, does something that within the confines of the movie is regarded as spontaneous and romantic, but in the real world would be considered stalkerish and possibly criminally liable. So like for example, in The Notebook, when Ryan Gosling is hanging off the bar on the Ferris wheel, and he's like, "I'm gonna let go unless you agree to go out with me. I'm gonna let go. And Rachel McAdams is like, "Oh my God, he's so wild and crazy and such a hopeless romantic." Whereas in real life, he'd be like, "Fine, let go, bitch," or like, "Hey, can we get somebody to come get the crazy person off the Ferris wheel before somebody gets hurt?" Like that kind of thing. Like I'd like to see that go away, because it presents unrealistic expectations of what's to happen within a relationship, and B, it's just not realistic because, so there's this thing, right? I call it the Ryan Gosling to Danny DeVito scale.
Okay.
Right?
I think I know where you're going, but please explain.
So if Ryan Gosling is hanging off the bar on the Ferris wheel, or, writes your name in fire on your front yard, it's considered passionate and spontaneous and artistic, or what have you. It's him going to extreme lengths to show how much he cares. If Danny DeVito does it, then it's just weird and creepy, and you call the cops. So quit giving handsome guys the excuse to do random creepy shit in the name of romance.
Yeah, that's pretty funny though. The Danny DeVito. Yeah, shout out to Danny DeVito though.
Or Wallace Shawn, or what have you. Anybody who wouldn't be considered the typical heartthrob.
Yeah, at the bare minimum, even if it's harmless and they are being romantic, it's a pretty serious red flag. You know what I mean? I know I hate to use terminology of today, but I mean, I get. Yeah, no, you're right. It's a trope that could go away. I got two while you were talking. I thought, because I'll be listening. One is just stop. When it comes to computer people, they just put some random person in glasses and they're like, that's the computer hacker.
Right.
Most of them don't look like, or they're just like, "Oh, I got to do the code." We can do away with that. And two is a more recent one. It's because they're coming back a little bit, but because they're largely just not making comedies anymore. I feel like that's all being replaced with action comedies. You know what I mean? Like what do you mean? Every hero's got to have almost like a Marvel humor injection, to the point of everyone's got to be Deadpool, or everyone's got to be Star-Lord, and
it's all that snarky, biting humor, and it's cynicism, or almost like the
silly reference to I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it's just
they're always they think they're the most clever person in the room.
Yeah, and it's not like I don't mind it. It's just being overused to the point of just every single Morbius, the scientist who's dying of some blood disease, has time to be funny and stuff too. It's no, what I mean? No, I get Deadpool. That's fine. This character Star-Lord, that's the character, but it's everywhere now. And that's why I appreciate the John Wicks of the world. Those are pretty humorless movies. What's funny is it's going to sound effed up, the way that he disposes of people.
Sure,
Could be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, that was hilarious.
Right,
Like, kick the dude to the horse.
right.
So,
Did you see when he snapped that dude wearing his own helmet? That was great.
yeah, or the fact that they take time to, help him up. He's like, hey, we're going about this the right way. You're John Wick, man. I get it. Like stuff like that is funny. But yeah, I don't know. Just the quippy, quirky action hero that's like making up for a lack of comedy movies now, and that can go away.
I agree. Sometimes I just want a good banana peel movie, just some wacky, irreverent, silly humor for the sake of silly humor. Like I would love, to bring back like the Talladega Nights or the I don't know, Step Brothers or something like that, where it's just, oh, this is just people fucking around for 2 hours.
Right. The Naked Gun was kind of like that.
I feel you.
So they're coming back a little bit. But anyways, good question.
I hope so. Let's see. What's another good one? Okay. What is a movie that is objectively terrible, but if you catch it on TV or scrolling through the streaming app, you are physically incapable of turning it off?
Making life-saving inventions out of household materials.
MacGruber.
Grooves is hard for me to turn off. I'm trying to think of bad. Like Mortal Kombat is one that's
a good one.
Yeah, it's hard for me to not. It's so campy and so like it's not a good movie. But is it entertaining? Does it scratch the more? There's so much nostalgia in that movie that it's hard for me to not watch Mortal Kombat when it's on.
I feel you on that. I'm trying to think of one for me. The problem is that I really love bad movies.
Yeah, we like a lot of our stuff unabashedly.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to narrow it. Like, if they're showing Sleepaway Camp or something like that, I don't know why they would on TBS, because you cut out the best part of that movie. But yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's anytime I see something where I'm like, ooh, a movie I haven't watched in a while. This. Yeah. Like that's one that always catches my attention. It's hard to pick one that's particularly bad. I mean,
because they deem like kung fu movies like bad movies,
right?
Like that.
Right.
That's like, what? This is on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, 8 diagram ball.
That's right.
I know a lot of people that's Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
That's a big one.
I know a lot of people love that movie. But yeah, for me, it's
Crank. Maybe is a good one.
Yeah.
Crank
2 is even worse.
Yeah. Oh God. But in the same breath, still,
is it?
It's a lot more. They take it way further than they did in the first one, and to the point where they stretch that theme or that idea where it's like, all right, I think you might snap that idea if you pull any harder there. You're starting to pull on threads that make the whole fucking thing fall apart.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. I can't think of anything that's particularly bad, because if it's bad, if I think it's bad, I just don't want to watch it at all.
Yeah, I don't really have time to hate watch stuff. I did with like Madam Web and Morbius just for the sake of the show, but like I'll just be like, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, next question. Thank you for reading it and talking into the mic too. It was well done.
Yeah, no worries. You got one you want to try?
No, you can stand
there.
That. Oh,
there you go.
Pretend like you guys can see what we got going on here.
Kayfabe.
This is a great question. The Mount Rushmore of movie snacks. You're building the ultimate non-negotiable movie snack pack. You get one savory item, one candy, and one drink. What is the definitive trio?
Wait, that's only 3.
One candy,
and then one freebie,
drink, savory, sweet, and a drink. What's the definitive trio, and why is anything else wrong? Or I'll just tell you my Mount Rushmore.
I was gonna say, because Mount Rushmore is 4.
I don't know. Whatever.
That's a poorly worded question. Whoever wrote that in
wrong. Whatever. We'll give you our faves. So you want to start? I know you're a beef jerky guy. You were for a long time.
I do like some beef jerkies. I'm not gonna lie. I will say, just because it has to be in there, it has to. I'm a big fan of Twizzlers, because you can bite off both ends and then use that as the straw for your soda, whatever the soda may be. So Twizzlers has to be in there.
I'm big on the Twizzlers too. I actually have. Okay, so Twizzlers for you, right?
Twizzlers is going to go on there for sure.
I'll accept Twizzlers. I actually really like the pull and peel more in a movie for some reason.
Okay,
but really, to me, I got to have something chocolatey, something kind of like
chewy, savory.
Yeah, like a Skittles or something like that.
Okay,
and then I got to have like a gummy bear, and then popcorn is usually. I don't usually buy popcorn. If people I'm with want popcorn, I'll buy it, but I'm not.
I would say that just out of respect for the game, popcorn's got to go on there. I mean, it's pretty hard to beat that. It's the staple go-to. So just by right and virtue of it's probably the most widely bought movie-going snack, popcorn's got to go on there, hands down. No, so popcorn, whatever popcorn it is, whether it's caramel corn or cheddar or extra butter, ranch, dill pickle, whatever your flavor of popcorn's got to go on there.
Yeah, I'd say that. And like I said, I typically, for me, I go something chocolatey and then something chewy. For me,
Reese's Pieces.
I don't do Reese's. I'd rather just have the cups, man, and the minis.
Oh no, I would too. But in terms of something you can pour in your hand and just pop in your mouth,
Bunch of Crunch was my go-to for a long time.
Bunch of Crunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bunch of Crunch. Nestle's Bunch of Crunch was my go-to for a long time.
Okay.
And then to me, I'm a gummy bear guy. I like gummy bears.
Depends on the gummy bears. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. It's got to be the high end. You can't get the dollar store like mummy bears.
Yeah, and then usually depends on what time you give me. I've switched to zero sugar sodas.
Zero sugar sodas.
Zero sugar sodas. Yeah, but I use a Coke Zero or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, my go-to drink in the movie theater, whiskey for sure. I mean, it ain't no movie I've ever seen that couldn't have been made better by a straight double.
Yeah. I'm just reminiscing. I've told you my stories about it, but yeah. So I don't know if we answered that question or not properly, but I'll just give you my 4 real quick.
Sure.
Twizzlers, I'm with you on that.
Sure.
Popcorn, it's the,
that's the game.
It's the Honey Nut Cheerios of movie food. You know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to beat. It's like, all right, I get it. A gummy bear and then something chocolatey, Snickers, Twix. I'm a big on Twix, so Twix or something like that. I need something chocolatey, and that's my 4 go-to, and some kind of zero sugar soda.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Twizzlers, Reese's Pieces, popcorn, and then maybe beef jerky or some sort of chewy, savory snack, just because I can get my protein in there.
That's what's up.
Honorable mention by whiskey.
I know, right? Okay. What is a book, video game, or comic that is considered unfilmable, but you would give anything to see a director actually pull it off?
Okay. So this one might be a cheat because it's kind of been done already, but I think Akira. Akira is, especially in the manga where they go way, way, way deep into the philosophical, or maybe even Neon Genesis Evangelion. That would be a big nigh unfilmable. I'd be willing to see. It'd be interesting who would be brave enough to take a crack at that one, because that's a big take.
Especially the later movies get really out there. They get really out there. Yeah, that would be tough. I think the original thing that was deemed unadaptable was Dune, and I think Denis Villeneuve did a phenomenal job making that movie palatable.
Oh, for sure.
And there's some pretty tough cuts that he had to make. If they do end up getting, because they're going to have to make some tough choices. Now that I've actually, by the way, just finished the books on tape. I've got
nice.
Yeah, I had something to do. So, but yeah, they're gonna have to make.
Were there pictures in the book, Marcus?
It was audio. That's why
I don't know.
Either way,
did they describe the pictures?
No, they don't. Oh, then we can't talk about it. I was like, I listened to a podcast. If you frame it that way, you can talk about it. But yeah, they're gonna make some tough choices in Dune Messiah, which is just gonna make it more palatable. But if they end up doing God Emperor Dune, where Leto becomes a sandworm and stuff like that, and then enacts 10,000 years of like squeezing humans so they can later expand on the gold. Good luck. Good luck. So I would say Dune was the original one that was unadaptable. Akira's a great pull. Other than that, a video game, man, like that's not, I mean, there's so many wacky video games that are just
Tetris, maybe.
Yeah, but they would have to shoehorn in a plot that's not there.
The alien blocks are invading, and we can only contain them between these 2 buildings. Fight them by forming a horizontal line. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's too many quirky video games that are just like, what the hell is this? Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Akira's probably live action would be tough. To do it really. I mean, the anime's so good though.
That's what I'm saying. It's a little bit of a cheat because it has been done before, and I think that the anime is about as good as it can get at that point. It's asking it to do more would only be a detriment to the movie.
There's the only other one I could think of is just because Hideo Kojima gets really out there. to do the early Metal Gear Solid games could be done. To do some of the latter ones
would be
like where Liquid Snake's arm takes over Ocelot's brain because that's how it worked. Like that would be way out there. There's a version if you made some tough cuts, they could do it, and it would be stealth action at its finest. You get a good Solid Snake, cool, whatever. But like to cut out all, they're going to make some tough choices that I don't think Hideo Kojima is going to go for because, as brilliant as he is, he does kind of like the smell of his own farts when it comes to like plot line and stuff.
Right.
He's a little too out there. So good luck with that. What else we got though?
Let's see. After that,
I know we kind of jumped around in order.
Yeah, we are. It's okay. What actor or actress has the most flawless, no skill filmography?
You said no skip?
No skip.
Oh.
See, that's hard because I can think of at least one or two that's got a miss. I would say I haven't seen everything he's in, but everything that I have seen him in, I've loved him. Wall of Fame, Ben Foster.
Yeah, I don't know enough of his what he's been in terms of, I'm sure he's got some roles that I had no idea he was in, but yeah, he's up there. I was gonna say Jeff Bridges, but he's got a couple that are like, the RIPDs and the the seventh son or seventh gate or something like that. Man, honestly, only person I can really think of is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Really?
Even like The Beach is not. It's a Tony Scott. It's not that bad.
Yeah, but I wonder how much of that is Tony Scott knowing how to film shit compared to how good is Leonardo DiCaprio in that.
He's not a bum in any. You know what I mean? He's not. I don't know. I think that's the closest I can get to that I can think of without knowing like old school song and dance men and women. You know what I mean?
Right.
In terms of my
Buster Keaton, no misses.
That's actually not a bad poll. Yeah, Buster Keaton's pretty damn entertaining. Maybe Jackie Chan.
Oh,
I'm always entertained by a Jackie Chan movie.
Ooh, I don't know. The Tuxedo was a hard one.
Oh yeah. Even then, man. Yeah, that's true.
Tuxedo was a hard one.
Yeah, everyone's got one or two, but overall, Jackie Chan, I would probably take, and Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Jason Statham, no misses.
Oh yeah,
no misses.
So?
Not a one. Name one. Name one time he's faltered.
I don't know.
You can't do it, can you?
I know. All I learned is that in the movie Collateral with Michael Mann, the transporter is actually canon in that movie. And they can't say it because they're two different studios, but when they run into each other and one drops the bag and it's the list of names for Tom Cruise to go kill, the writers have confirmed that, that it actually is.
Really?
The studios can't say it outright, but they've confirmed it several times. That,
So that's the same universe. They act by the same space.
Collateral.
That's funny.
I didn't know that until very recently.
That's funny. Another piece of interesting movie trivia. Good. Did you know that Reese Witherspoon and John Witherspoon were not related?
Wait, what?
Blew my mind too, bro. Blew my mind too.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, learn something new every day. What else we got?
Let's see. Here's one. We kind of talked about this a little bit, but if an actor wins an Oscar for a movie role, but everyone knows that it was for something they should have previously gotten, does it still count as a win?
Ooh, tough question. The legacy win is tough.
I'd say it still counts as a win, but it's one of those like everybody really knows kind of thing.
Yeah, it does. The only time it does, I'm gonna say yes, because you typically can't get there without the Academy going like, ugh. For example, like
Heath Ledger for the Dark Knight.
That was earned. I had no problem with that.
No, he should have won for Brokeback Mountain.
Yes, but also he was really good as the Joker. But I was gonna say more like Al Pacino in Cinema Woman. You should have got it for Godfather 2 or Serpico, or like the other 6 nominations you had were more deserving than that. You know what I mean? Right. We all know, and even like Jamie Lee Curtis, like I appreciate the legacy win of her being there, but she wasn't nominated for anything else previously, so I guess that doesn't count. But yeah, it counts just because you want Al Pacino to get one. But Sin of a Woman was like,
what are we doing here?
Yeah, and I forgot it didn't go to Malcolm X. You know what I mean?
Right. Really? How much harder should Denzel work at this, bro?
Like 3-hour movies and like 86% of it, like every single shot.
I don't know, bro.
All right, what else we got, brother?
Let's see. Here, you want to do one?
I don't know. We're out of order here, so let me try to. Oh, here's a great question. Is it okay? Is a spoiler still a spoiler if the movie has been out for more than 5 years, or is it on the viewer at that point?
5 years?
Yeah,
it is definitely not a spoiler at that
you don't
point.
think so?
In the age of the internet, if the movie's out for longer than 2 weeks, it's a spoiler.
right.
And I will say that that's only directly proportional to how big the spoiler is how much people should respect that. You know what I mean? Like if I'm recommending a movie, okay, so it's like this. If a movie comes out with a huge plot twist and you still haven't seen it 2 weeks in and the internet ruins it for you, that's kind of on you. That's kind of on you, because you can only expect people to hold in something for so long. I understand if it just came out yesterday and there's this whole blog about the twist and how important it was and how it's going to change cinema, and like, all right, maybe let's not do that. Let's give people a chance to breathe and actually get a chance to see the film, and let sort of some of the word of mouth, buzz generate some interest in the film, and let people come to their own, come to the conclusion, or see it for themselves to appreciate how good of a twist it is. But after 5 years, how long am I supposed to sit on this secret, man?
Yeah, 5 years. I agree with that, but it also depends. I don't know. I'm kind of. This is actually a pretty good question, because we could debate a lot, and I don't have time for it. But okay, if I'm sitting there telling you about this movie about Soylent Green, right, and then the process, I'm like, hey, you really need to see it, and in that process, I sit there and go, oh, by the way, Soylent Green's people. You're gonna have no interest in seeing it. At
well,
that
you've
point.
just ruined the twist for me.
Because is it still a spoiler? Yes. Is it how you approach it? And also with the modern stuff, if it's something that's important to you, there's a reason I go to movies on Thursday night, especially the movies that I care about, like Marvel and stuff like that. One, I want to be, before everyone starts trashing, which we'll get into that in a second. But like, that's a trope that needs to go away, is on the internet. People that have a website that is like dependent on major franchises like Star Wars and Marvel and DC, and all they do is end up trashing it and cannibalizing it.
This is the most woke bullshit ever.
Right. And it's also your most watched video on your own feed.
Yeah, you got 50,000 clicks on that one, did you?
Way to cannibalize your own people, you mo. What was I saying though? Sorry. Oh yeah, I know. So it is on the person, but like, if something's that important to you, you do need to make the time to go see it early, because again, the internet's ruthless. Like, is it still a spoiler? Yeah, but also if you don't know that Vader's his father by now, like, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? People want to talk about it, because that's why people shake things up. But if I'm approaching you about Fight Club and you know nothing about Fight Club, it would, you know what I mean? And I want to talk to you about that. It'd be stupid of me to spoil it for you.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
unless you're talking in generalities about like, oh, and I love in Fight Club when, the twist that it's, Tyler Durden, whatever. Like, if you spoil it that way, like if I'm talking about it to you or to a group of people and somebody overhears that or click, whatever, then that's kind of on them, because it's sometimes there's just not ways to talk about movies or topics without addressing the spoiler in the room.
Right.
Because otherwise then it's just a group of people dancing around the one thing that they can't really talk about.
Yeah.
So it kind of like you said, if it's a one-on-one, like, oh, you should really see this movie, then it's up to me to not spoil it for you.
Right.
But if I'm talking to you about a type of movie and it gets spoiled, well, come on, that's your issue. That's
I agree. So to answer the question, Inconclusive. Gray area. All right, we're going to run through a couple of these. What actor or actress is currently trapped in typecast jail and desperately needs a gritty indie role to break out of it? I don't necessarily know if they need a gritty indie movie. I know that's why Sydney Sweeney just did the boxer movie Chrissy or whatever.
Right. Which nobody went to go see because whatever. Ooh, give us more diversity and this, that, the other, but I'm not going to pay for it.
Whatever. Michael Cera would be one. Michael Cera gets typecast a lot as like even in Juno, and that's actually why Seth Rogen wrote him that role in This Is the End.
This Is the End, right?
Where he got to play like the complete scumbag because he didn't want to play the like the odd teenager anymore.
The awkward nebbish.
Yeah, and so Seth Rogen was like, yeah, I'll do that. We're just gonna write the complete opposite of what you are, but like let's do it. And so shout out to him for that. So yeah, I don't know, it'd be cool to see him. I'm sure he could play like a pretty good serial killer or something like that. So
I'd watch that. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of character actors. It's off the top of my head, but he's the first one that came to mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired of Ryan Gosling always playing the handsome guy.
Yeah, that gets old pretty quick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's certain people you can't typecast, like Steve Carell's and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think he does a really good job of. He has a really good acting repertoire in terms of acting range. Yeah, I don't know. That's hard. Maybe Chris Pratt, but in the same breath, I don't really care about Chris Pratt. But he does tend to get played in the like Star-Lord, like we were talking earlier. You know, the snarky kind of action hero guy. So yeah, I'd like to see him maybe do a dramatic role or maybe play the bad guy one time. That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah. Shake it up a bit.
Let me think.
Anybody else?
Can't think off the top of my head.
A lot of them are just character. I'm sure there's a million people in a million movies. I'm like, oh, that guy, but I just can't.
Right.
You know what I mean, whatever.
Right.
I didn't do my research for this one.
Yeah. Jason Statham. I'd like to see him do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't kicking in the movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, even Vin Diesel did a turn in, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
So just something like that. It doesn't have to be a major role, just something where it's like, oh, did you know Jason Statham was in that movie? Like that kind of thing.
Okay. I like it. All right, quick, we're going to rapid fire some of these. What is the most realistic portrayal of a specific job or lifestyle you've seen in a movie, and which one is the most hilariously inaccurate? I got one.
Go ahead.
It's not necessarily like a lifestyle choice, but not talking about being a pilot. I had nothing to do with that. Denzel Washington is written so perfectly as an alcoholic in Flight. Again, I'm not talking about the plane flipping over and this and that, because it all is about, he misses the larger question of it is important that he saved all these people's lives. And this is the weird part about that movie is he does save all these people's lives, and they put all these different people in all this simulation, and everyone dies in the plane.
Everyone crashes.
The question is, were you drunk when you were flying the plane? That is the question. And are you going to pin it on the now dead stewardess,
right,
or flight attendant, sorry.
Right.
But yeah, and so he does this great job of all these mental gymnastics of looping these things together and just shifting blame and shifting attention. Well, what about this? Well, what about that? And what about, and it's the ending scene where he gets drunk at what they call at the just right moment and gets tight at just the right moment in a certain literature I'm a bit familiar with. I thought was perfect. The fact that he goes to court sober. You just make it one more day, buddy.
And then the day of.
Yeah, I thought his portrayal of all the ancillary things about being an alcoholic, about like saying with solemn oath, I'm not going to do this anymore, convincing those people around you one final time, and it's still the sickness still getting the best of you at your absolute worst time. It's just, I really relate to that movie, not because I've ever flown a plane, but that aspect of just when he says like, I hit my quota on telling a lie. If I could have told one more, I wouldn't be in this prison with you right now.
Yeah.
But like, I hit my quota on telling on bullshit myself even. And so I always really respected that portrayal of alcoholism in that movie. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I have two, and they're really just more generalities.
Okay.
One is military life.
Okay.
And there's certain movies or certain scenes where it's very military. You know, we were talking about John Barenthal and the way he moves in the PunIsher, and you can tell that he spent a lot of time doing like active combat training and stuff like that. So that's really, really impressive. Or in, like Hacksaw Ridge,
Ooh, good movie. I saw that recently. I meant to talk about that.
Did you?
Yeah, my bad.
Next time, coming up on the next episode.
What a story.
Yeah. What's his name? Your Money, baby. Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn. Him being the company commander, like everybody thinks like Arlie Ermy from Platoon, or not Platoon. Full Metal Jacket is like the end all be all. But realistically, as someone who's been through boot camp, there's no way that you're going to make it through that whole process with somebody constantly like, oh, you're a maggot, you're a piece of shit, and I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. Like, there's no way. Like you would wash out. Whereas in Hacksaw Ridge, Vince Vaughn yes, he's very stern, he's very proper, and it's very, very, very military. And there's a way to do, there's the right way, there's the wrong way, and then there's the military way, and we're going to do it the military way. But he also injects a little bit of humor. He, when he's choosing nicknames for all the new recruits and stuff like that.
Right. It's good pull.
There's that's a little bit more accurate than the Arlie Army, at least in my experience. The other thing that's wildly just non-realistic is anytime you get into those like hoorah action, pro military action movies like Lone Survivor or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And it's they're on the radio and command centers telling the team like, we're gonna pull you back, it's too dangerous, and they go, we're going down, we're going further, we're gonna get him back. And it'd be like, okay, well, you're all court-martialed, so I would just recommend don't come back because you're going to get locked in the brig for the next 30 years. Have you heard of insubordination, bitch?
Yeah, I know, right?
It's
Lieutenant Guile in Street Fighter. And now who wants to go home and who wants to go with me?
Right. There's no way they would just be like, okay, well, just so you know, we're sitting in a flight of F-22 Raptors and they're going to carpet bomb the shit out of the area. So you guys just push ahead if you want. I mean, I'm telling you how it's going to go down. This is what's going to happen. We've already cut our losses, and you can be part of that number or not.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm trying to think.
But they're always like, he wouldn't leave us behind. We can't leave him behind. Like, well, you're going to have to. So sorry.
That's a great pull. Yeah, military is one that's overused. Cooks are another one in any cooking show.
Yeah.
The one that I know, I'll speak for my dad here. The one that I don't know how. There's a movie that Aaron Eckhart does called Thank You for Smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays a lobbyist for Big Tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
And there's aspects of that movie that are spot on. According, what our father does or whatever. He's got some insight to that. And so that's one I heard was always very, very well done. So, all right, a couple more and then we're going to get out of here. If you are introducing a friend to your favorite genre, what is the gateway drug movie you show them to first get them hooked? We pretty much cram what we want.
Right. See, that's difficult because I honestly don't know that I have a favorite genre of movie. Like I think I watch a pretty wide range of movies.
How about just any niche genre that you like? Because comic books for a long time, people are going to look at it now and go like, ugh, I got the whole thing. I just mean one, you don't have to do comic books.
Sure.
Because I know my answers to like anime.
Okay. So for anime, I would probably do,
it'd be Spirited Away. Akira, I would want them to get to.
Akira's pretty heady.
But I would start with Spirited Away.
Yeah. Maybe, I think Spirited Away as far as anime would work. I'm just thinking so if I was going to do like action adventure, it would probably be either like Princess Bride or like Raiders of the Lost Ark or something like that.
Yeah.
If it was a horror movie, it would probably be...
It's going to be Halloween probably.
Okay, that's a good pull. Maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just because you get a little bit more of the like visceral gore and immediate reaction of like the grotesqueness of it all. But even then, like maybe a good psychological like
kung fu flicks would probably be like Drunken Master or Five Deadly Venoms. I'd probably say
I could see
because those are pretty palatable.
I could see that.
It's weird because when you're like showing somebody a band, it's weird. Like it's almost like you're not allowed to like the singles, and you're like, no, the singles are the singles for a reason. They're completely. They sell a lot of records because they're good. Right. It's weird.
If somebody's never heard of Metallica and my entryway for them is Enter Sandman, is it probably the most popular choice I could have chosen? Yes. Is it probably maybe the best one? Yeah. I mean, you could debate, but it's going to be either one or Master of Puppets or
Before
Enter
I play
Sandman.
Crumble and Herb by Outkast, I'm going to play you So Fresh, So Clean. Sorry.
Yes,
you know what I mean? So
right.
It's weird. I don't want to say the popular choice, but I think the right thing to say for any one of these genres, they broke through their mold of this genre for a reason.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, oh, you're going to play him Enter the Dragon? Yeah, I'm going to play him Enter the Dragon.
For good reason, because that's the one that every other movie of that type was trying to be. So yes, I'm gonna that's a difficult one. Only because, like I said, I don't have a particular favorite genre, but there are certain movies that I could choose to be like, okay, you've never seen a a superhero movie, or oh, you've never seen a war movie, like there's certain things I'd be like, here you go, start here, and then we'll work our way up.
Shout out to our friend of the show, DJ Mike Check himself, the old attaboy. Before I was allowed to watch the 5 Heartbeats, he handed me the Temptations. He was like, he's like, you got to watch the Temptations. You got to work up to the 5 Heartbeats. And that was one of the best recommendations anyone's ever given me, because you're not ready for the 5 Heartbeats. It might be the greatest, short of Dewey Cox, the greatest singing group that never actually was. So
love it.
All right. Last one. Then we are going to get out of here. Oh man, this is funny. At what point does blatant product placement cross the line from funny and realistic to the immersion breaking it actually hurts the movie? Any egregious examples springing to mind?
I don't know what you mean, Marcus. I, know, right? I don't know what you mean as I sip on my monster soda here.
Somebody spit in.
Oh, it's so refreshing. Juice Monster. There you go. That where it's very clear, like nobody holds like a God, what is it? Triple X or the Fast and the Furious series. Like everybody always drinks their Corona with the label out by the neck, not gripping it around. Like the label is always so very visibly clear as they sip that Corona.
Always the light beaming through it and stuff. You know,
like that's everywhere, every bar they go, every place they go, there's never like, oh, you know what? We don't have any Coronas, and they're like, well, we're not drinking.
Yeah,
like
that's a pretty bad one. There's some, I mean, Booty Sweat. I got this Booty Sweat back in the nail. Booty Sweat breaks immersion. Booty Sweat is the movie Tropic Thunder, if you really think about it. And then he even says it is the movie. You know what I mean? So yeah, Booty Sweat.
I'm thinking of like that scene in Wayne's World where, you know, they pan up and Garth's got all of his Nike gear on, and he's just like, you know, I just think it's really sad when people sell out and it just ends up ruining the whole product. And Wayne's like, oh, I can't think about this, it's all too much. And Garth pops in with the little pills and goes, here, try these. Oh, Nuprin, little, yellow, different.
Yeah. Well, that's like even Talladega Nights has a literal commercial break for Applebee's in the center of it. And they were smart to do it because what's a racing car? It has so many advertisement on it.
You sort of have to address it at that point. In order
to get their movie made, they're like, hey, how are you going to raise the money for this? Oh, we're going to just litter this thing with ads, which is what stock cars do in general. So that was kind of funny.
Hey, Applebee's, how much you guys want to throw us?
What was Demolition Man where they sell
Taco Bell?
Taco Bell was really bad. Yeah. As much as we love it, Krispy Kreme and the Power Rangers.
Oh my God, the Krispy Kreme.
How did that conversation go, Michael?
Lizzie, they're going to pay you $8 million, but you got to eat the donut.
You're going to be Rita Repulsor.
You're going to be Rita Repulsor. In the Power Rangers.
Yeah. I don't know. Doing it deliberately sometimes is fine. Yeah, Taco Bell.
But that one was, I think the Rita Repulsor one was widely egregious just because it was like, oh, they are trying so hard to hide it and yet not at all. Like when you work in it's, you know, in the script, it's, well, where are we going to get the MacGuffin? It's buried under the Krispy Kreme. Like you couldn't just say the fucking donut shop.
Yeah.
You couldn't just, I mean, and again, it's not a Krispy Kreme. It's the Krispy Kreme, as if it's the only one in town. Like it's the one specific Krispy Kreme that, everybody knows about the Krispy Kreme.
Come on, Coolsville.
We all go to the Krispy Kreme. We have a malt. Then we go down to the sock hop.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny though.
Yeah, got the Sadie Hawkins dance coming up.
Yeah,
what the fuck are we talking about?
There's I know. I mean, any Apple movie, there's going to be, you know, or any Apple TV show. But the idea that you can't, the bad guys, Apple won't let you use an iPhone. If
it's just an unnamed technological product.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying for a long time there was I think it was in Rian Johnson's first movie, like they wouldn't let Chris what's his name, Chris Evans, have an iPhone because the bad guy Apple's like, no, we're not going to clear that.
Oh, in Knives Out.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, they couldn't have an iPhone, so that's kind of funny. And then there's like the amount of like, the Transformer movies are really bad. Whatever hot new technological product was, I think it was like the Beats pill or whatever, and one of them was just like it was everywhere. And
like all the cars featured are GMC cars.
Yeah. That was kind of like, okay.
Not a single Nissan among the bunch. I
remember when I mean, James Bond, like the Aston Martin. See, that's the thing. Like some of it I appreciate in the fact of like when James Bond he was driving a Jag for a long time, and that was a big deal because they were like, he switched from an Aston Martin, like, whoa, that's not James Bond. That's not what he does.
Right.
And then when they switched back, that was kind of cool to see because it was like the behind the scenes bidding war of like, we got our guy back. But in Casino Royale, when it was being distributed by Sony, those 3 movies, everyone was on a Sony Vio.
Yeah.
Everyone had Sony had
Sony products.
Yep. Everything.
Yep.
So I get it. That was their first $1 billion movie with Skyfall.
So I guess in answer to the question, like it goes too far when it becomes egregiously noticeable. Like if it's taking you out of the movie to realize like, oh, everybody's drinking Pepsi or everybody's on a Dell computer, like that's when it's too much. That's when you've crossed the line. Like, and I understand that these companies are paying big money to get their product featured and stuff like that, but there's subtler ways to go about that.
Yeah, I'm with you. And again, if you're going to do it knowingly to raise money for your money, like, hey, it's a good way to get a movie made, but like do it like Talladega Nights or something like that, where it's just like, hey, we're going to literally break for Applebee's commercial in the middle of a wreck. Yeah, at the climax of the film. So I guess that's all we got, man.
That's it, man. That was it.
Yeah, that's it for now.
Cool, man.
Thanks for joining us as always. Sorry for the interruption earlier.
All good. All right. In the meantime and in between time, I would suggest that you go watch a movie
and talk about it with someone that you love. Until next time.
Yay.